Workshop 10, the last one. So this one is entitled Developing Confidence. For the warmer, you will need to take the cut-ups from the trainer book and create one set for each group of 4 participants. So you'll need to copy this and cut and create sets of cards for every 4 participants. And they will play a game. One person takes a card, does not show it to the rest of the group, and then describes the word or phrase on the card, and the rest of the group have to guess what it is. So, for example, so this is what a teacher says when he or she wants everybody in the class to get to their feet. Stand up. The person who gets it right takes the card from the person who described, and they take the next card, and they do the same like this. So this is something that the teacher says when a student does something especially good. Excellent. Good. Give the card to the person who got it correct. Play until they finished all the cards. Stage 2, as usual, is the session overview and lead in. So take the participants through the aims of this workshop and ask them to discuss these questions in their groups. Are you more or less confident now than you were when you started teaching, your teaching career? What things have caused your confidence to change? And what things affect your confidence? You have 10 minutes to do this activity, so give them about 6 minutes to discuss and then get a little bit of feedback, but don't spend too much time on that. Stage 3. Advice for nervous teachers. So you have in the participant book an email from a teacher whose name is Mike and is working in Cambodia. And this teacher has written to British Council's Teaching English website asking other teachers for help. So ask participants to read the mail and make notes about advice that they would give to this teacher who feels nervous in class. When they've done that, you can tell them to read the replies that other teachers from around the world sent in to the Teaching English website. Read these replies. And then summarize these replies. So the first reply from Jose in Ecuador says, "It's not easy to teach when we are not prepared for a class. That makes us nervous because perhaps we have some fear to be standing up in front of a lot of learners." So what Jose is saying is prepare well, be prepared. And you can see there, the answer to the first one has been given. So ask the participants to summarize what the other teachers have said in a couple of words. So, stage 4, topic analysis. This is something that teachers of subjects who are teaching through the medium of English should do in order to analyze their lessons and be prepared. So, you're going to talk the participants through the table, which is the front cover of a lesson plan. So the teacher has written the topic, is life processes and living things, teaching to year 6, and the teacher has rows for main facts, which will come up in this lesson, specialist vocabulary, other English vocabulary, links within the subject, links to other subjects, and learners' problems. So in the second column, the teacher has then noted the things, so the main facts or processes. These are the things which the teacher will talk about in this lesson: movement, reproduction, sensitivity, nutrition, etc. Here are some words which are particularly important and specialized for this subject. Here are some more vocabulary which are not specialist, but will be necessary for this lesson. Links within the subject. So this is a biology lesson, and so these the links. This lesson links to the human body, the senses, materials, matter. It also links to geography outside this subject, and then the teacher is trying to think of what potential problems the students will have. So first then is that the students may have a problem understanding that plants are able to move, to respire, to sense and excrete. All of these because plants do this in a different way to humans. So plants move towards the sun. Plants respire, they breathe, but they give out, they breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. They sense. They can sense the sun, and there are some plants which actually can sense, such as the Venus flytrap, which is a carnivorous plant, can actually sense when a fly or an insect lands on it, and then it closes. So this teacher has noted down some of these potential problems and given examples to him or herself that he or she can give to the students to help. Now, then, you have the template. The participants have the template, and so you're going to ask them to get into pairs and think of a topic in their subject which they can analyze in the same way as the biology teacher did. So they need to think of the main facts or processes and make a note of those. So first of all, write the topic, which year of school, which year group they're teaching, and then fill in the rest of these areas. Okay, so they'll have 15 minutes to do all of this. Sometimes teachers need a moment to think before they answer a question that a student might ask, and moments like that, teachers will say phrases just to fill the time. So if a student asks a difficult question, I might say, let me see, or let me think, or wait a minute, just a minute, or I'll come back to that later. So practice saying these sentences, drill them, get the participants to repeat them, and then ask. So you, the trainer, ask some of these difficult questions to participants, just so that you can elicit these phrases, so that they can practice these phrases. So tell them that you're not expecting the answer, and then pick on individuals. So what is 120 times 155? Let me see. Ask another participant. What is the second largest city in the UK? Wait a minute. So this is just an instrument to get the participants to practice these phrases. They can continue doing this in pairs once you have modeled this with the whole class. Stage 6, listening. So they are going to listen to a science teacher giving a lesson on living things. Before they listen, ask them to look at the pictures. You can see the pictures here. There's an orange, a plant, and the sun, a banana, a baby, and a car. So ask the participants to think and try to guess how these things are related to the lesson. They can check their ideas with their partners, and you can get some very brief feedback. Very brief. Then play the recording for the first time, and the participants just to hear the recording, and their task is to see if their idea was correct. Simple as that. Show them the next page. This is the lesson plan. It's an empty lesson plan. And they are now going to listen again, and they're going to complete the first two columns, stage and activity. So tell them that they're going to do this. They're going to listen again and complete columns, stage and activity. The first one has been done for them. Stage 1 is revision. The activity, the teacher checks learning from the last lesson. Play the recording. Participants make notes, check with their partners, and then you can check with the whole group and elicit the correct answers for each of the stages and each of the activities. When that's finished, they can work in pairs to write the aim of each of these stages. And then you can check as a whole group. Stage 7, planning. Now, in stage 4, I'll take you back. In stage 4, they completed the topic analysis. This sheet here, this table. Okay, so put the participants into the same pairs as they had when they did stage 4. And they should, so this sheet is on its side, you'll need to look at it like that. They should complete 4 columns: time, activity, aim, stage, time, activity, and aim. So they should complete those 4 columns for the topic they analyzed in stage 4. So the stage 4, the topic analysis, is the cover sheet. This is the lesson plan, and you are asking them to complete, to write down stage, time, activity, and aim. Give them 15 minutes to do this. Now, listen again to the science lesson. So tell the student, the participants, they are going to listen again to the science lesson. Show them this table. This is what they're going to be listening for. So at the stage and activity, revision, teacher checks learning from the last lesson. What exactly does the teacher say? So in the column on the right, the language column, the participants are going to write down the exact words that the teacher says at that stage. So ask them to listen carefully and note down, and so play the recording and they listen, and they can check in pairs. Maybe you can play it again, and they can check in pairs, and then you can do a full class feedback to ensure that everybody has the correct answers. So The participants did their topic analysis in stage 4. They completed the lesson plan in stage 7, but they did not complete the last column. So stage 9, you're ask the participants in their pairs to go back to that and write down exactly what they will say at each stage. So they can use the language, or they can use similar language to that from the listening exercise, and write it down on the lesson plan that they've already worked on. Give them 10 minutes for this. And the final stage of this final workshop is this peer support. They're going to practice some micro teaching. So they have worked on the topic analysis, they've written the the lesson plan, they've even written down exactly what words or what phrases they're going to use at every stage. They're now going to practice teaching that in pairs, and the partner will note down any feedback on this sheet. So the partner will be writing down what they did well and what could be improved from the micro teaching. This could take quite a long time because every single participant is going to, in their pairs, they're going to practice their micro teaching and give feedback to each other. So you have 20 minutes to complete this. And finally, the last reflection and review of this week. So as usual, they should write down any useful vocabulary or phrases from this workshop, and also make a note of a couple of action points of things that they would like to try in their own teaching. And that is the end of this week of training. Thank you for listening.